Good morning. হ্যালো, হ্যালো, শুনতে পাচ্ছো?
Yes, sir.
শোনা যাচ্ছে আমাকে? Am I audible? শুনতে পাচ্ছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Yes, sir.
বুঝতে পারছি না। হ্যালো,
Yes, sir.
হ্যালো, তোমরা আনমিউট করো একটু। শুনতে পাচ্ছো কেউ আমাকে?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Yes, sir.
হ্যালো, জোরে বলো।
Yes, sir.
শুনতে পাওয়া যাচ্ছে?
Yes, sir.
স্যার শোনা যাচ্ছে।
ওকে, ঠিক আছে, দেখছি এসছি। কোনো ডিস্টারবেন্স
সাউন্ড জিরো কর, ঠিক কর। স্পিকার না থাকলে হেডফোন লাগিয়ে দাও।
হ্যাঁ, এসছি এবার। আচ্ছা, তোমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছ স্ক্রিন?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today our topic of discussion is Schedule T. Schedule T, it provides the GMP for Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani medicine. We have already discussed the GMP of modern medicine, that is under Schedule M. Now we will discuss today Schedule T and if possible Schedule V. Schedule T, that is the Indian system of medicine, your Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani factories, how they will maintain the good manufacturing practices, what are the provisions they have to comply, that has been vividly prescribed in Schedule T. In some places, you will get some common criterias like general criterias, that is the factory premises, general requirements of the factory, water supply system, disposal of wastes, about the health and about the dress of the manufacturing staffs. These are more or less common. Just we are going through the first one is the part one, like your Schedule M, that it has also been divided into two parts. Part one, that is the general requirements, and part two was the specific requirements for specific dosage forms. Here also it has been, Schedule T has been divided into part one, that is the common good manufacturing practices facilities which have to be made available in the manufacturing premises. First is the factory premises for any Indian system of medicine, whether it is Ayurvedic or Siddha or Unani. The plant has to be divided into some areas with proper partition and with proper maintenance of air controlling arrangement. And the units are like this: receiving and storage of raw materials and packaging materials section. There will be a section which is involved in receiving and storing of raw material and packaging materials. There is a unit which will deal with manufacturing processes. That is the core manufacturing section, the quality control section. Finished goods store will be there. There will be a provision of office premises, and obviously there will be a provision of rejected drugstore. So these six classified area are to be provided in the factory premises. General requirements. Under general requirements, you have to first see what is the location of the factory? What is the location of your manufacturing unit, and what is the surroundings of that location? The factory premises shall be so situated and shall have such construction. It is to be situated in a place such that there should not be any open sewerage nearby. There should not be any drain, big drains like this. There should not be any public lavatory near to the factory, or there should not be any factory which is producing disagreeable odor or obnoxious odor and fumes or excessive soot or dust. If these type of factory are present nearly to your drug manufacturing unit, it may cause the contamination of your formulations. So you should select the place of your factory such that this type of surroundings are not there. In the factory premises, you have to be very much vigilant to see that there should not be any cobwebs like makorsar jalal like this, and it should be free from insects, rodents. Their entry should be restricted. The factory premises should have adequate provisions of light and ventilation. It is also very important, the floors and walls for any kind of GMP provision, whether it is a cosmetic unit or Ayurvedic Siddha unit or your modern medicine unit, you have to see the floor, any part of the floor, the walls, they should not be damp. Any area should not be damp or moist. It will have the effect on your production. The premises used for manufacturing, for packaging, for labeling also should comply with the provision of the Factories Act 1948. In the Factories Act, there are some requirements has been mentioned that what will be the premises condition of a factory. That condition is not anyway further stringent or more complicated as we are saying here in the Drugs Act, but it has been provided that it should also comply the provision of Factory Act. The working space should be orderly and logically. You have to place the equipments there such that the probability of cross-contamination can be avoided. Your instrument, your equipment should be arranged in the manufacturing section in such a way that you can perform the total or entire operations in a logical, in a uniflow directional method. Am I clear? Say you are operating, first you are doing the granulation in a tablet section. So after granulation, you will go for tablet punching or compression. So it should be situated just adjacent to the granulation section. Then you will go for coating. So it should not be like that, that after granulation, there will be a coating section. So the arrangement or placement or installation of the equipment or the section should be uniflow manner such that crisscross movement can be avoided to avoid the chances of contamination. And the design and the construction of your building should be such that it can prevent the entry of insect and rodent. The floors, walls, where there is a joining of wall and say floor and wall or wall and ceiling, it should be coved always. That is, coving means it should be concave shaped. It will not be in a, it should be round because it will minimize the accumulation of dusts. So that is why the connection of wall and floor, connection of wall and ceiling is concave shaped, it is rounded, and there should not be any crack. There should not be any outside fitting of electrical wires or anything. any pipes, which will increase the chances of accumulation of dusts. So these things is very important. And in case of Ayurvedic Siddha Unani, furnace is very important area. You have to have the heating section. So furnace section where you have to provide, it will be separated and it will be covered with tin roof with proper exhaust system. Entire factory should be under proper fire safety measurement. Appropriate fire safety measures should be there, and whole area should be free from the chances of entry of any kind of insect, flies, or dust. So appropriate arrangement has to be taken. Water should be of potable quality. So potable quality water supply arrangement should be provided. Disposal of waste to maintain the provisions of, you know, that biomedical waste management rules 2016 is now working. So biomedical waste management rules 2016 has to be complied as far as disposal of waste management is there concerned. Container cleaning and container drying arrangement. One section will be there where all the containers will be washed, washing facilities there will be there. After washing, it will be dried. So drying section will be there. Then that dried container will go to the filling section for filling of your manufactured product. Stores is a very important area, and stores will be segregated. So like the same condition you have to maintain as we have gone through Schedule M. But only difference is that in case of Ayurvedic Siddha Unani, you are utilizing mainly 3 types of raw materials. Either it is of mineral origin, or it is origin from animals, animal origin, or it is sourced from plant, that is a plant origin raw materials. These raw materials will be kept separately, each category of raw material. Again, if it is a plant, herbal raw materials, it may be dried or it may be fresh. So they also will be kept separately. That's storing arrangement will be separate area will be provided for them. Again, the herbal products, some of them have some specific odor. So this odorous herbal product will be kept separately. Otherwise, its odor will contaminate the other raw materials. Then the product, finished product, which you will prepare with this contaminated raw material, the product will be of different type. So market compliance will be hampered. So keeping of raw material is properly maintained in that fashion. And otherwise, the area assignment for the raw material, for the packaging material, for the finished goods is same. You have to have 4 designated space for keeping 4 quality of your products, either raw material or packaging material or finished goods. What are these 4 categories? Whenever you are getting any product, any raw material or packaging material, or as a store in charge, you are getting a finished product. Say it has not been tested or no sample has been drawn from it for testing, just you have receipted it. So you will keep it in the quarantine area. Its status is now quarantine. Second, sampler or quality control personnel came and he or she had drawn the sample from that stock. That means sample has been drawn. So its status will be changed now. It will be now in the status of under test. So for the under test status, raw material or packaging material or finished goods, there will be a separate designated area. And moreover that you have to place proper label also on the containers that it is a quarantine status or whether it is in under status. Third status is it may be approved. That means its quality is okay. Then you will give it, you will shift it to the appropriate area. Why you are shifting? You can throw out the level of this under test and you can put the approved. Why we are changing the place also, and why we are keeping the designated place for each kind of status, each status of this raw material, packaging material, finished goods, to avoid the chances of contamination mistake. And that is very important in JMP. Whenever you are changing the place, you will be very much clear that no, it has been declared approved by the quality control personnel, and now that is why I am changing its place. So when it will go to the market, it will go to the market only from the approved site. So it has separate area is provided, and you have to shift from its place according to its status. And moreover that you have to put the label such that you can minimize the chances of mistake in each and every step. That is the main aim of GMP. And for all these purposes, you have to make SOP, standard operating procedure, like how you are storing, how you are receiving the raw material, packaging material, or finished goods, how you are storing it, how you are leveling it as per the status, like this. Another very important thing as a store management is you have to follow the principle first in, first out. The raw material which you are getting, which you are receiving, and you are storing in the your store area, you see which one came to you first, and also you have to see its manufacturing date if it is possible. Whenever it is herbal or animal product, its collection date you have to see. And so first in, first out principle you have to follow, and that is important thing. But in case of mineral raw material, you also have to see the manufacturing date, expiry date. Expired product you cannot use in your formulation. Health, clothing, sanitation, and hygiene of workers is same like your schedule M. That is, you have to, whenever you are giving employment to any worker or staff who will come in contact with your raw material or finished goods, he has to be medically examined to see that whether he or she has any contagious disease or not. And after that appointment, after each interval, a fixed interval of time, it may be a year or it may be 6 months, according to the factory, at least 1 year, you have to test each and every worker. Medical examination will be done to see whether he has any skin disease or any contagious disease, and accordingly you have to take action. Dress, you know that in the factory premises, you have to remove your outside dresses, and you have to wear the properly sanitized dress of the factory. You have to wash your hand and feet and mouth, and then after proper cleaning, the personnel will go, and for that purpose, cloakroom or dress facilities room, cloakroom will be provided in each and every factory. Without any facilities of cloakroom, no layout, no sketch plan of a factory will be approved by the authorities. So you also have to see that whether proper cloakroom facilities are provided or not, whether in the cloakroom there is washing system is there or not, and the keeping of the outside dresses and your materials will be provided, and you have to be given proper clean sanitized dresses. And separate sex, separate cloakroom facilities to be provided, and toilet facilities, that is outside the manufacturing area. The toilets will not in any way have any connection with the manufacturing area. And toilet facilities also to be provided separate for separate sexes. SOP, the standard operating procedure, has to be made. It's a very important work, and you have to learn it how to make the SOP. Whenever you are in the colleges, you will see, whenever you are in the laboratory, for each and every instrument there, you will see one SOP is hanging just above the instrument. This is the SOP, but in factory, this type of SOP you have to prepare for each and every instrument, each and every equipment, and also for the general operation, like cleaning, how to clean, what will be the cleaning material, what will be the interval of cleaning. This each and every direction for each and every steps will be written in the SOP, and SOP will be approved by the authority, and that SOP you have to maintain until and unless it has been modified. So you have to see in a factory, whenever you will be employed in a factory, that whether they have the SOP for all operations, or whether there are some operation like sampling. One person will come to draw the sample from raw material or finished goods or packaging material. How he will draw the sample? For the sampling methodology, there will be one SOP. How the batch number is assigned by the company. What is the method of assigning batch number? There must be an SOP. That SOP will be followed, and you have to see as an auditor or as an technocrat that whether the SOP which has been made by the company itself, they are vividly following that SOP or not. Batch manufacturing record, which I've discussed earlier, in the same way, batch manufacturing record for each and every batch should be there. They have to maintain it, where all the history of production of a batch will be written. Distribution record after clearance from the quality control that it is now you can sell it, then it will be sold. So it will be distributed throughout a particular state or particular country or outside the country, whatever may be. Entire distribution records should be properly maintained such that just by minimum period of time, you can see that where your product, your particular batch has gone. If requirement is such that you have to recall it, any complaint has been received, such that you can immediately recall it from the distributors to whom you have sent it. So it should be very much handy. You can get it very quickly. A record of market complaints you have to maintain. And from that, you have to take the decision whether there is any recall or not. Quality control system, each and every Indian system of medicine manufacturing facilities, they have a minimum small quality control area, and the minimum area should not be less than 150 square feet. And there are three kind of personnel will be there for testing this Indian system of medicine. One is expert in, at least one in expert in Ayurveda, Siddha or Unani system of medicine, who possesses a degree in that respective system of medicine according to the kind of product you are manufacturing. If you are manufacturing Ayurvedic only, so your expert should be Ayurvedic graduate, medical graduate degree holder. There must be one chemist. Chemist is either B.Pharm or B.Pharm Ayurveda or a BSc with appropriate training. And also a botanist or pharmacognosist must be there, because a lot of herbal products, herbal raw materials are there to see whether it is a genuine raw material or not. So this kind of expert personnel should be appointed in your quality control to assess the quality. Some Ayurvedic Siddha Unani products are aseptic products. To prepare this kind of products, which we have earlier studied in Schedule M, proper air controlling facilities of clean room to be provided. Next is the part 2 of the Schedule T. Part 1 is the common facilities you have to provide. You have to see whether there is any lacuna or not. Then you have to take appropriate action, precautions to cover it. And another thing is list of equipments and minimum area requirement for each and specific category or or dosage form of the drug. It has been mentioned in part 2 of the Schedule T. One thing is the additional area, which is common for all. If you prepare only one dosage form or 2 or 3, whatever may be, some area is common area which is required for all, like a quality control laboratory. If you prepare tablet, capsule, liquid, all these things, then also you have a quality control. If you prepare, if you have the facility of preparing only liquid oral preparations, then also you have to have a quality control. So some area are common and you have to provide it. That area, as per Schedule T, as per the GMP of Indian System of Medicine, 1200 square feet covered area to be provided, which are common, like quality control, like cloak room, like storage area, like water supply system for providing water supply system like DM plant, or if required distillation unit. And a furnace is another common area for Ayurvedic Siddha Unani. You have to heat something, you have to boil something, and the furnace area, 200 square feet area. This 1200 and 200 area is common, you have to provide it. Other than that, if you prepare any pisti or anjana, for this formulation, the basic manufacturing unit, the basic manufacturing room, its area, minimum area is required 100 square feet. And the minimum equipments which you have to provide is ball mill, sieves, sifter, and motorized cradle for for mixing is grinding. So these are the areas for the Anjana section. For Churna, that is the powder, Ayurvedic powders, you have seen many powders, they call it Churna. For Churna, the minimum area of the basic manufacturing unit, other than the additional area which I have told, 200 square feet. Am I clear? 200 square feet, covered, cleaned, proper cleaned area should be there for preparing the churna. And the equipments, grinder is required, disintegrator is required, pulverizer is required, powder mixer. Say it may contain 2 or more powders. So powder mixers will be there, and sieves for proper size of particle maintenance, sieves and sifter will be required. So these are the minimum equipments you have to provide in your basic manufacturing unit: grinder, disintegrator, pulverizer, powder mixer, sieves and sifter. Next is peel, what they are telling, or we call it tablets. In the tablet section, the minimum area is very less here, only 100 square feet. That is not possible in case of modern system of medicine. And you have seen that without coating, it is 60 square meter, means more than 600 square feet. And if there is any coating system, it will another 30. Then the additional area. So for modern system of medicine, it will be nearly 1200 square feet, and it is only 100 square feet. Equipments, ball mill, mass mixer, powder mixer. Equipments is more or less same. More or less same. Granulator if required, dryer, and tablet compression machine will be there. Coating pan if required, there will be coating pan. And other thing I have not written here, that is you have to pack it. That means the strip or blister packing machine must be there. And you also should have a deduster for clear the dusts from the surface of the tablet. Capsule section, it is also same. Same because the ingredients are different, but after making the powder, you have to fill it in the capsule cell. The cells will be locked. The capsule will be packed. So that requirement of equipments is same, but for the Ayurvedic Siddha Unani, area requirement is less. For the GMP compliance, only 100 square feet area is taken as the minimum sufficient area for preparing capsule. Equipment is the air conditioner, dehumidifier is common, because otherwise your gelatin cell will be destroyed. So air conditioner, dehumidifier, and hygrometer should be there to see, to measure and observe that what is the relative humidity at that place. Thermometer should be there to see the temperature. Capsule filling machine, same like your modern medicine. And chemical balance will be there. Strip blister packaging machine will be there. Deduster will also be required for making your capsule dust free before packing. Ointment section, minimum area 100 square feet. So mostly we'll see 100 square feet. Only for liquid oral it is 150, and for churna it is 200. Otherwise mostly it is 100 square feet area is sufficient for tablet, capsule, ointment. Equipments is like same. Ointment mixer or colloid mill will be there. Stainless steel storage or containers must be there, and tube filling machine, which will fill the tube and crimp the base area of the tube. Panak syrup, or that is the oral liquid, you can say, 150 square feet. Equipment, stainless steel tank, stirrer, tincture press, filter press. You have to filter the liquid after preparation. Bhatti should be there for heating. And a bottle washing machine. In the bottles where that will be present in the washing section. Bottle washing machine, bottle drying machine. Filling machines will be there, and it will be semi-automatic or automatic liquid filling, same like our modern medicine system. And in the modern medicine system, we have to go through PP cap, pilper proof cap sealing machine, get a capping machine, which you call them capping machine. So these are the machines required. If it is Asava or Aristo, the basic Ayurvedic preparations, so 200 square feet minimum area is required. Other conditions are like oral liquid, same. If it is Toilo or Gritone, then area requirement is 100 square feet. The QC lab is broadly divided into 2 parts here: chemistry section and pharmacognosy section. You know that herbal raw materials are mostly coming. So pharmacognosy section for testing of these raw materials for identification, whether it is, they are saying it is ashwagandha, whether it is really ashwagandha or not. The dried part has been sent. So it is not easy to find out without any proper knowledgeable botanist or pharmacognosist. So in the pharmacognosy section, there will be microscope, binocular, dissecting microscope, microtome, Strage micrometer, camera lucida, physical valence, aluminum slide trays, chemical glassware, and also you should have TLC apparatus, paper chromatography apparatus. In the pharmacognosy sections also it is required. In the chemistry section, you required alcohol determination apparatus. In the finished goods, there are alcohol. So there will be a distillation plant. You distill it, find out the alcohol content, whether it is standard or whether it is matching the declaration or not. Volatile oil determination apparatus, how much volatile oil is there. Boiling point, melting point apparatus will be there. Refractometer will be there. Polarimeter you have seen in your laboratory also in the college. Viscometer will be there to see the viscosity of the product, any ointment or any liquid also. Moisture meter will be there to see the moisture content, because it is important. If moisture content is more, your product within the expiry period may be deteriorated. Muffle furnace will be there. Electronic balance will be there. Magnetic starter is required. Hot air oven. If you have prepared tablets, so DT machine, I mean disintegration time apparatus will be there. TLC apparatus, thin layer chromatography, paper chromatography apparatus, pH meter is required. Limit test, you have tested it probably. Limit test apparatus for seeing the limit of the different inorganic ions like chloride, sulfate, heavy metals, arsenic, iron. You have to see. So limit test apparatus will be there. Water bath is required. Distillation apparatus will be there. Hot plate is there. So these are the common chemical instrument and equipments in the chemistry section is required for testing raw material, packaging material, and finished goods. This is all about Schedule T, that is the GMP requirement for Indian system of medicine. For the patent and proprietary medicine, it is not under Indian system of medicine. I am telling the patent and proprietary medicine is present in each and every system, in the modern system, in the Ayurvedic, in the Siddha Unani, in the homeopathy. What does it mean? Patent and proprietary medicine means the formulation which is not included in any pharmacopoeia or official compendia. It is not the legal books which we have, the pharmacopoeia or compendia. That formulation is not within that legal book, but it has been approved from long days and it has been found. It has been found that it gives the action, so it is required. These products are called patent product or proprietary products, patent medicine or proprietary medicines. For the patent and proprietary medicine, what will be the standard that has been provided in a separate schedule in the drug rules, that is Schedule V. Schedule V describes what it describes. It describes the standards for patent or proprietary medicine. If your patent or proprietary medicine contain vitamin or multivitamins, then it is stated under the Schedule V that your product should be properly labeled, that whether this multivitamin product is meant for therapeutic use or it is meant for prophylactic use. You will see in any multivitamin product, it has been mentioned. It is the legal statutory binding that it has to be mentioned on the label that it is for prophylactic purpose or for therapeutic use. What is the difference between these two? Prophylactic means it is not serving the purpose of any disease condition. You are taking it for fulfilling or maintaining your vitamin requirements, like which you are taking from food. You have think that your food is not supplying you sufficient amount of vitamin, so you are taking it. But it is not for curing any disease condition. But for curing any disease condition, you need the multivitamin product which is meant for therapeutic use. So it is clear to you that for therapeutic use, you need more amount of vitamin. For prophylactic, it is the maintenance dose that is less amount. And Schedule V describes it for each vitamin, what will be the content of amount of vitamin in prophylactic use for therapeutic use. Say for vitamin A, if it is for adult, another thing, any multivitamin product, they have to mention on the label that it is for pediatric use, or nothing is mentioned means it is for adult use. So in the Schedule V, it has been clearly mentioned. If you go through Schedule V, you will see vitamin A, which is measured in international units, and for prophylactic use, its limit is given clearly. Nobody, no manufacturer can violate it. What is the limit? Not less than 1600 IU international unit, or not more than 2500 IU. So any vitamin manufacturer, say, even if it is a food manufacturer, he has prepared that he is giving it for prophylactic use. Food manufacturer can supply vitamins in its product, in food supplement, but that content cannot go higher than your dose of the prophylactic use. If it go higher, that it will touch the therapeutic field, and which will then embrace the problem of it will be declared as drug, because it is not required for your prophylactic purposes. It is required for your disease condition curing. So that is very important. So what is the limit you have to see? 1600 to 2500 is the minimum maximum limit of vitamin A in international unit for prophylactic use for adults. And for therapeutic use, minimum requirement is 5000 IU should be there in any product. Otherwise, it is not fit for a therapeutic purpose preparation. And 10,000 IU for the maximum limit. In case of pediatric, if it is 753,000, and it is 1500 to 5,000 in both the cases. Next is vitamin A. Vitamin D. Vitamin D, you see, not less than 100, not more than 200 for prophylactic, not less than 400, not more than 1000 for therapeutic. Not go for any memorizing. Just try to understand the terms, prophylactic, therapeutic, which one will be more? Obviously therapeutic. And you don't require to keep in your memory. In case of child, it is 200 to 400. In case of therapeutic, in case of pediatric dose, it has been divided into two parts. One is for the infant, and another is for, that means infant means below 1 year. And 1 year to up to touching of the adulthood, it is another section, that is 100 to 400. So in case of infant, it is required more, 200 to 400, but it is for therapeutic. Both are for therapeutic. B1, 1 to 2 milligram, 4.5 to 10 milligram for therapeutic. B6, 0.5 to 1.5 milligram for prophylactic, 1.5 to 3 for therapeutic. Niacinamide, you know this, all this thing. Niacinamide means vitamin B3. Niacinamide is a 15 to 26, 45 to 100 milligram. They are in the milligram units, means bigger unit. D-pantothenic acid means B5. Folic acid is B9. B12 is there. B12 is very, very less amount is required in microgram, and folic acid also in microgram. There are trace amount of these vitamins is required. Vitamin C, you will see. Vitamin C in milligram, its requirement in the therapeutic purpose is not very much high, only 75 to 150 milligram as per Schedule V. Vitamin E is international units. Next is some general requirements for different categories of patent and proprietary medicine. You have to know in a nutshell. If the patent or proprietary medicine in the dosage form, say it is tablet or it is capsule, it has to it has to follow all the requirements of that dosage form as mentioned in the pharmacopoeia or as mentioned in Schedule 2 of the Drugs Act. And its stability, freedom from contamination with foreign matter, fungal growth, defects from chipping, capping, etc., cracking should not be there. These are the general requirements. Capsule also it's must follow, which is the provisions laid down in the Indian Pharmacopoeia. And for your injections, that is also as per IP, it should follow. Ointment should follow IP. Only these things has been mentioned in Schedule V, that these all categories of dosage form, its standard is that it has to be complied with the provisions of Drugs Act. Drugs Act, under Schedule 2 of the Drugs Act, it has been, Schedule, first schedule and second schedule are there. Two schedules are there in the Drugs Act. Second schedule gives you the standard of all medicines and all cosmetics. So medicines standard is under Schedule 2. Schedule 2 will give you the standards that what authoritative books has to be complied with for the maintenance of the standards. And it has been mentioned that if your product is mentioned in IP, Indian Pharmacopoeia, it has to follow the Indian Pharmacopoeia. If it is not in the IP, then any other pharmacopoeia. And if it is not in any pharmacopoeia, then comes this, your standard books or your Schedule V, that is something differently which has been mentioned like this. You see, it is not say in pharmacopoeia, and your preparation is not vitamin preparation, not enzyme preparation, not antibiotic preparation. Other than vitamin, enzyme, antibiotic preparation, any preparation, the active material content shall not be less than 90%, shall not be more than 110%. This information you have to keep in your mind for your interview or any other purposes. What is the limit of the active material in your formulation? You will say if the formulation is not enzyme preparation, if it is not a vitamin preparation, if it is not antibiotic preparation, then its limit has been provided for each and every patent and proprietary medicine. If it is a pharmacopoeial preparation, in the pharmacopoeia it has been mentioned what is the limit. If it is not a pharmacopoeial preparation, then Schedule V will tell me what is the limit of its active material. It is 90 to 110. But if it is an enzyme preparation or if it is a vitamin preparation, then there is lower limit is 90%. There is no upper limit, because you have seen probably in the label, in enzyme and vitamin, overages are added. Extra vitamin, extra enzymes are given. Why? Whenever you will be preparing as manufacturing chemist, you will add some extra. Why? Such that with the passage of time, with the formulation, some are deteriorated, destroyed, and you can manage it. Your product is always maintained within the 90%. So here also it has been mentioned there is the lower limit is 90, no upper limit is there. But for but for antibiotics, if it is dry antibiotic, capsule, tablet, then the limit is 90 to 130. If it is liquid, then it is 90 to 140. So only this information you keep in your memory. In case of any aspirin contained preparation, free salicylic acid test is mandatory. You have to do it, and that limit is 0.75%. In case of soluble, it is 3% is allowed. If it is not soluble, so free salicylic acid test is important. You have to do for any preparation, any patent proprietary medicine which contains salicylic aspirin, and free salicylic acid content should be very, very less, not more than 0.75%. Otherwise, nothing is important for you. So this is about Schedule V and Schedule T. More or less your, except Schedule Y, everything is covered. Schedule Y is now deleted. There is another rule now for clinical trials. So I will just give you a brief idea about Schedule Y for half an hour in the next day. And then the offenses and penalties will be discussed for completion of your entire drug rules. And I will take one test then only on the drug rules. If you have any question? Any question from anybody? Otherwise, I will end the meeting. Huh?